6x6 KenKens are challenging, and so the key is not to do exactly what I do, but to hear about some of the ideas and some of the strategies that I'm sharing about how I tackle these. So first, I noticed this 5. I'm gonna go ahead and put a 5 right here. Okay, now you're gonna notice as I go around that I'm gonna write notes to myself. I'm not always gonna feel sure about things, okay? But here's what I'm looking for right now. I'm looking to find squares where there's only like one possibility. Like for example, multiplying to 30. That can only be 5 times 6. There's no other possibility there. Like adding to 9, there's a lot of possibilities. It can be, well, not a lot. It can be 6 and 3, it can be 3 and 6, or it can be 5 and 4, or 4 and 5. So I'm not gonna fill anything here yet because that's just too many possibilities. I'm looking for stuff where there's less possibilities so I can, start to narrow things down. So for example, I notice here, this is add to 3. So the only way two numbers can add to 3 is if it's a 1 and a 2. And I'm just kind of looking around, right? Like divided by 3, that could be a 1 and a 3. It could also be a 2 and a 6. So I'm not ready to write anything there yet. These minus 4, that could be 1 and 5, or it could be 6 and 2. So like this one, for example, I notice this one actually can't be 6 and 2, right? So this one has to be a 1 and a 5. And again, I don't know what order. Okay. This one over here, right? This one could be, it could be a 1 and a 5, or it could be a 6 and a 2, but the 6 would have to be over here, right? So that's another possibility. And notice I'm just writing myself notes right now. Okay. Multiply to 20. Let's think like what numbers multiply to 20? That would have to be either 5 times 4 times 1, or it would have to be 5 times 2 times 2. Okay, now which one is it? Let's see, if it was 5 times 2 times 2, that would require there to be a 2, a 5, and a 2, right? That's the only way the 2's wouldn't be in the same row or column. But that doesn't work because I can't put a 5 here. There's already a 5. So it must be 5, 4, 1. The 5 must go right here. And the 4 and the 1 must go here. And again, I'm not sure what order. So then I notice, oh, well, if there's going to be a 4 and a 1 here, well, then this can't be a 1. So this must be a 2, and this must be a 1. So then I'm looking and I'm like, okay, what's left? There's a 1, a 2, a 5, and a 4 here. So this must be 3 and 6. So I'm going to write myself that little note, right? And notice I'm just slowly starting to fill things in. Okay, let's see, where else can I go? I notice this is 1 and 5, and there's already a 6 here. So that leaves only 2 and 4 as the possibilities right here. And then that leaves only, in this row, that leaves only a 3 left in this row. Okay, now if these 3 numbers need to multiply to 36, and this is 3, well, 36 divided by 3 is 12. So these 2 numbers need to multiply to 12. So that can either be 3 times 4 or 6 times 2. Now the thing is there's already a 2 here and a 3 here. So that's either, right? It's either going to be 6 times 2 like this, or it's going to be 4 times 3 like this. Now I'm not sure which one yet. I'm just going to leave both possibilities there for now. Let's see. What else can I find? Here, see this minus 4? Remember I said it could be a 6 and a 2 or a 5 and a 1, but I already have a 5 and a 1 in this row. So that must mean it's going to be a 2 and a 6. So now I have 1, 2, 5, and 6 already in this row. So this here is going to be a 3 and a 4. Okay. Let's see. And notice, right, this is not perfect. Like I'm not constantly filling things out. I have to just pause and kind of look and take it in and see. And maybe you see something I don't right now. That's possible for sure. So I'm just looking around. I'm trying to find spots where I can kind of make a little breakthrough. And what's cool is once I figure something out, I have a lot of little notes that are going to lead to other things. So like one thing I noticed, and this is kind of an interesting one, I noticed there's a 4 in one of these two and a 4 in one of these two. So like I know like one of these is going to be a 4, and then like let's say this one's a 4, that one's going to be a 4, right? Or let's say this one's a 4, that one's going to be a 4. But the 4 in this column and this column is already taken. So the thing is this can't be a 4, right? Because one of these is going to be a 4. So I realized, oh, well, this must be a 1, and this must be a 4. Okay, so that kind of helps out. And so then I realized, okay, well, this can't be a 1, right? So that can be, it could be like maybe 5 and 1. So I'm gonna keep that as a possibility. Now it could still be 6 and 2 also. So I'm kind of narrowing down here. Let's see. So what about the 3? Like I'm looking in this column and I see like, okay, well I have a 4, 5, 6. So this is gonna be 1, 2, and 3. And this is going to be either a 1 or a 2. The thing is, this can't be a 3, right? That can't be, because look, like a 3, this can't be a 3 plus 3. That's not allowed because they're not, they'd be in the same row. So this must be a 3 here, right? Which means this is either a 2 or a 4 if these numbers have to subtract to get 1. Okay, let's see what else I can see. So here, let's see. So this is going to be, like, this is a 3, right? This is going to either be a 1 or a 2. This is a 1, that's going to be a 5. If this is a 2, that's going to be a 4. So we still have a lot of different possibilities. Let's see. Now, I noticed this. Look, this one can't be a 4 and a 2. Why? Because look, then it would make neither of these work, right? If this was a 4, then this one wouldn't work. If this was a 2, this one wouldn't work. So that means this must be a 5 and a 1. And then if this is a 1, then this one must be a 2. And then this one must be a 6. Okay. And so let's see what else. So now, like, I'm looking in this column now. And so what's left is a 2, a 3, and a 4. Right? So we have that, right? Like, this is either 2 or 4. This is either a 2 or a 4. This is either a 3 or a 4. So starting to make some progress here. Let's look at this one. Like, this is a 1 and a 5. So if this was 6 and 2, what would be left? 4 and 3. Oh, that wouldn't work. If this was a 4 and a 3, what would be left? Oh, a 6 and a 2. So that works, right? Like 2 and 6, that divides to 3. So then this must be a 4 and a 3. And once there's a 3 here, I look here and I'm like, oh, well, then this must be a 6 and this must be a 3. And if there's a 6 here, then that's got to be a 2 and that's a 6. Okay, and then, oh, if this is a 6, then this is a 2 and this is a 6. So you're starting to see where all my little notes to myself kind of paid off, right? Once I got one thing, I was able to do a bunch of stuff. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to look at this row right here. I have a 2, a 3, and a 6. So what's left is a 1, a 4, and a 5. So I need 2 to add to 5. That's going to be a 1 and a 4, which means this is a 5, and that's a 1. Let's look at this column. This is 1, 2, 3, and I'm missing a 4 and a 5. So that means this one's going to be the 5. This one's going to be the 4. This is going to be a 5, right? Because those add to 9. This is going to be a 6. And I'm getting pretty close to the end here. Let's see. If I look at this row, I'm missing a 1, 2, a 1 and a 3. So that means this is going to be a 1. That's going to be a 3. 4, this one's a 1. Look, if this is a 4, then this is a 2. If that's a 2, then this one's 4, this one's 2. And this one's 4, this one's 3. Okay? So notice, it wasn't perfect, it wasn't pretty, like I had to pause and think, okay? And I had to use lots of different strategies. But the key is, there's only one answer, and only fill in things that you feel sure about.